Psalms 91, verse 5. John Gill's Exposition of the Bible. Scripture quote, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night," unquote. The terrible things that happen in the night as fire, storms, and tempests, invasion of enemies, murders, thefts, and robberies. A good man, when he has committed himself and his family to the care and protection of God by prayer, has no reason to be anxiously careful of these things or to indulge a slavish fear about them. See Psalms chapter 3, verse 5. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me," unquote. The Targum is, quote, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the fear of devils that walk in the night," unquote. So Jarchi, Jarchi, interprets this in the next verse of such as do others of the Jewish writers. A man that trusts in the Lord needs not be afraid of men or devils. A fear of evil spirits is natural to men and very early appeared. Perhaps it took its rise from the fatal affair of the fall of our first parents through an intercourse with an evil spirit, and ever since has been imprinted on human nature an aversion to evil spirits and a dread of them, even of all spirits and generals. See Job chapter 4, verse 13, reading from the King James Bible, quote, "In thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falleth on men." Continuing verse 14, "Fear came upon me in trembling, which made all my bones to shake," unquote. Scripture quote, "Nor for the arrow that flieth by day," unquote. The judgments of God, such as the sword, famine, and pestilence, these are called the arrows of God. See Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 23. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "I will heap mischiefs upon them. I will send mine arrows upon them," unquote. Because they move swiftly, come suddenly, and strike surely, and are open and visible. They are sent by the Lord, and are ordered and directed by him, and hit and hurt whom he pleases, and none else. And therefore such who dwell in the secret of the Lord and under his shadow need not be distressed about them. The Targum interprets it of the arrow of the angel of death, which he sends out in the day. See Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil," unquote. So Jarchi understands it of a demon that flies like an arrow, unquote. End of Psalms chapter 91, verse 5 of John Gill's Exposition of the Bible.